I am Lur of the planet Omicron Persei 8.
What follows is my personal medical experience and is not to be considered medical advice. Okay then. How's it going, everybody? Sorry about that. So, Omicron, not a joke. So, roundabout back in April, when the vaccine first came available to my age group, my wife and I, my wife has a history of breathing issues, so we went ahead and got both vaccines back in April. We were pretty much ready to go. We isolated a lot. We still do. Mostly we just go to drive-thrus or get deliveries. But when Omicron hit, it was way worse than I thought it was going to be. So early on Tuesday morning, December 21st, I woke up with a chill. Went from the couch to the bedroom, got under the covers, shivered a lot. And then that next morning, Tuesday, I woke up with the most splitting headache I've ever had. I mean, full head headache, the entirety. Everywhere where there's not hair, there was a headache, okay? And when the alarm went off at 7, it's a work day. I had chills, fever. Pretty much I knew I was down for the day at least. And a little bit of diarrhea and vomiting, not much. We have Zofran, which is a little dissolvable pill you put under your tongue. It'll cut off that desire to throw up. And I didn't have much in my system anyway, so there wasn't much to come out, and luckily. So we contacted our primary care doctor. They said, well, you can treat the symptoms like every other cold or flu or viral infection. Pretty much you have to treat the symptoms and let your body figure it out and work it out. So we got Tylenol for pain relief and Zofran for vomit stopping, and then after that it was just go back to bed. So the next day I felt great, relatively speaking. I still had a little bit of nausea, but the headache was mostly gone. I felt mostly okay. I did have some muscle aches and some muscle pains that just sort of went around at random through my body. You know, it'd be an arm here, leg there, back of the head, pain, that kind of thing. But you know, over the next few days, that all seemed to wane, and I was getting better. And I was like, hey, Omicron, that was fairly painless. You know, it was essentially a head cold from here up. I felt stuffy from my nose line up. Thank God there was nothing in my lungs, and still nothing in my lungs. And so I didn't have all the coughing and wheezing and that kind of pain. So fast forward a couple of days, I think I'm getting better. Everything's lovely. Tuesday morning we did the Pfizer test all off the nose, and it came up Dayglow red on the sample line before this, you know, long before the 15 minutes were up. It was very much positive. And so it was really just working it out. Seemed like it was pretty good. I notified work, told them I'd be in, you know, Wednesday morning. Kind of half capable Wednesday morning, but otherwise just moving along. And then, you know, a couple days later, not terribly surprisingly, my wife shows positive, and it builds up in her, and sort of the viral load of the household, if you will, had built up. So I started getting the symptoms again, headache. I was on Friday I tested and I was still positive. And then over the weekend, you know, it kind of seemed to build up again. So I think mostly done, a little bit of strain here and there, it'll be over. I was wrong. Monday night, around 6 p.m., just a big wave came over me of muscle aches and chills, sudden heavy chest pain, felt like my arms were being pulled off, and essentially all the symptoms of heart attack with the exception of shortness of breath. So I went into the living room. In there we have a blood pressure cuff and a pulse oximeter and a thermometer, and we have for years just made a sort of regular study of ourselves, checking our blood pressure and our pulse ox anytime we feel a little odd, or and then just at random sort of keep an idea, see where we are, what's our normal, right? And so sure enough, I had one of the highest blood pressure readings I'd ever had in my life, in the 162/100 plus range, and one of the lowest heart rates of about 60. And that was pretty much the trigger. We jumped in the car and I chomped down a couple of baby aspirin. We got in the car and got to the hospital. Went into the ER, and then you sort of stand around and wait a lot. They got me triaged. I'd say probably within the first hour or so, they got me in to pop a EKG on me. EKG looked relatively normal. Didn't see much of anything on that. I reiterated over and over again that I knew I was COVID positive because of the Pfizer tests. Or not the Pfizer test, the Binax test. And that I was vaccinated. So they switched me over to sort of the COVID positive waiting area, which had a lot fewer people in it. And a couple hours later, did some blood tests. The nurse took my blood pressure again. She said, "What's your blood pressure medication?" And I said, "I don't have a blood pressure medication. It's not normally this high. This is why I'm here." So, still pains in the chest, pains in the shoulders, pains that would kind of move around when you burp and when you lift up and that kind of thing. And in any case, the doctor ordered a couple of tests. One of them is a troponin enzyme, which is given off when your heart muscle is dying. And that was abnormally high. It's normally nearly undetectable, and it was in the 1 or 2 point range. And so then, sure enough, they're like, "Okay, we're gonna treat you like a heart attack." Gave me another couple of aspirin, started a heparin drip on this arm, and then also treating the COVID part of it. Started with a couple of antibiotics. I don't remember the one of them, but the other one was azithromycin or Z-Pak, delivered intravenously in the other arm. And actually, I think I had a total of 3 of those over the time that I was in the hospital. So from Monday night, 6 p.m. until Thursday in the evening, I was in the hospital, heparin drip the whole time. I think I got a total of 3 Z-Paks over that time, and of course not a lick of sleep, because every hour or two they're waking you up for blood pressure and blood sugar, and making sure your blood sugar is in range, using micro doses of insulin to get you into range, all that kind of thing. So in any case, long story short, a small heart attack caused by COVID dehydration and muscle aches. And as you know, heart's another muscle. A cramp in the heart is essentially a heart attack. But by the time they had done the EKGs, it was already over. So it took them a little while to realize. In any case, that was one of the craziest experiences I've had. Now I'm, of course, on various blood thinner and all that kind of stuff for post-heart attack. So I'm not going to give you any advice as to whether you should or shouldn't get a booster. It just, when the boosters came around, it was about the same time as the seasonal flu vax came out, and we kind of just said, well, which one do we want to take first?
You chose poorly.
I chose poorly. So in any case, folks, stay safe out there. Make sure you do everything you can for you and yours to stay healthy and stay strong. As promised, we've cracked the 512 user or subscriber limit. We should be getting our community page anytime now, and we're going to do another giveaway. So to enter this giveaway, go ahead, like, subscribe on this video, leave a comment down below as to where you think we should go with the next videos, whether you're interested in the rocketry or the computer science stuff, the gory details of microcontrollers, or if you want to see something completely different. Maybe we'll try something new. But leave your comment down below. We'll be able to pick one of those comments at random, and we'll do another $100 prize. Probably again through Amazon. It depends. So in your comment, make sure you comment as to what you'd like to see, and then to enter the contest, comment with your email address. The system will collect it up and hold it for review, but then I'll have your contact information ahead of time, and we won't have the fiasco of last time with a dozen different people faking as if they were the winner. Some of you people are scandalous, I tell you. Anyway, thanks for watching. It's been an experience I wish I never have to do again. I certainly hope not. And we'll be seeing you down the road. Thanks. I'd like to end this video with a special shout out to St. Agnes Medical Center here in Fresno for treating the heart attack and the COVID. And too many names to mention. But again, thank you very much for all your help.